Hey everyone, Travis here at PAX Day 2, joined by Reynad, Hearthstone professional, personality, critic. Reynad, what are you doing at PAX?
I'm just here to hang out, network, just meet people in the industry. It's been pretty fun.
Have you seen anything that has been interesting to you?
It's a lot of the same games that they showcased in PAX East. They have like more information on now, like Evolve and stuff. But yeah, honestly a lot of the indie games I really like the look of. The names don't come to mind because it was. But yeah, yeah, it's been pretty cool.
On the Hearthstone side, is there anything happening at all, or are you not even thinking about Hearthstone while you're here?
I mean, I'm thinking about it a bit. I played some games with fans, and HyperX is having show matches. But on the Hearthstone side, yeah, one of my teammates, Hyped, is playing in a tournament like right now. So I was watching that on my cell phone a few minutes ago. But yeah, mostly I'm just preparing for Blizzcon. The qualifiers coming up soon, and yeah, mostly just thinking about that.
Yeah, what does the Hearthstone scene look like as people get ready for these qualifiers, right? Because it's still an up-and-coming scene. Like, is there what happens behind the scenes there?
Yeah, basically, there's a bunch of third-party companies that want to. Hearthstone's really popular. They want to host tournaments because it's a great way to promote their brand, and so it's a bunch of people trying to organize tournaments. Except we don't really have a spectator client, so it takes a lot of work on the production side and all that. And in terms of who gets invited, it's like 50% just people who have made a name for themselves already up to this point. Some streamers, some people who just only have tournament success, like Thighs, RDU. There's lots of players like that. But anyway, yeah. So the scene right now, what it looks like is a bunch of pros trying to get into as many of these tournaments that happen every weekend as possible to sort of practice for the qualifiers leading up to it. A lot of people are playing the Open Cups every week, stuff like that. And yeah, are mostly like details haven't really been released yet on the qualifiers, but I'm pretty sure they're happening next month. And yeah, that will be pretty much the biggest tournament so far for Hearthstone because it's like $250,000 prize pool. There's actually a couple other ones I know of being hosted with similar prize pools, but I don't know if those have been announced yet. But yeah, the scene has just been blowing up lately. Tons of events.
Sounds that way. I keep seeing more and more and more of these tournaments, and if you're saying there's more to come around the level of BlizzCon, that's really exciting. I'm curious if you want to prepare like to qualify, and do you just like solo queue or whatever? I mean, not to use a league term.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Our solo queue, I mean, it's the same thing in League. Solo queue is so different from competitive play or from playing ranked fives. It's so different. It's not even the same game. The same thing applies to Hearthstone. Most tournaments are incorporating a ban system, so you can ban out one class. Pretty much always Hunter right now. And that really changes what kind of decks you can play. If you're playing on ladder, like 1 in 3 games are going to be against Hunter, so you need a deck that can beat Hunter because otherwise you can't just lose automatically at 30 of your games. In tournaments, though, if you're going to see 0 Hunter since you're banning it every time, it completely changes what classes you're playing. So it's a very different format in terms of like how you actually build your decks too. It's very different. You want to build them greedier usually with a lot of high impact cards that have the potential to just win the game on their own or be completely dead, like Big Game Hunter, Black Knight, Harrison Jones. Those cards see more play in tournaments, but. Yeah, in terms of preparing for tournaments, the way that you do it, we do it as a team. We play best of fives, try to do it in the same format that the tournament we're preparing for is going to be. Not sure yet if BlizzCon's going to have a ban system or the qualifiers will. I really hope they do because otherwise it's going to be the luckiest Hunter player. And I've played those tournaments a few months ago. They are not fun. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much how we prepare. Just play best of fives with the team.
I'm sure they're also not fun to watch, so hopefully they'll get the ban system in there. Whenever you're playing best of fives, do you kind of keep your cards? Or you like talk? Is there an open discussion or like, oh hey dude, like I haven't seen you play this. Like maybe this is something that you could throw in there, or is it sort of like you're just trying to keep your opponent blind to what you have and what you're building and what you're playing?
In terms of like the players in the other teams that we're playing against?
Well, no, like practicing. Like, is this a team-oriented? to practice and prepare, is it like the team coming together to help everyone build each other's decks, or is it like, are you sort of doing it in secret and trying to test it out that way?
Now, even if we're both playing in the same tournament, it's like an 8-player tournament, so 1 in 7 of our opponents are our teammates, and we still try to help each other despite that, because, I mean, for me at least, I don't really care whether I win or lose in a tournament. As long as somebody from my team wins, I'm happy. It's the same as me winning. It's like, it's all the same, so, yeah, we definitely all help each other out. We don't hide anything. We just give, just try to help the team succeed as much as we can.
Right before Naxx, I saw a ton of stuff from all the different Hearthstone personalities talking about what cards they thought would be good and predictions on where they thought it would take the meta. Now that it's completely out, any surprises or anything that you're really interested in based on what you're seeing?
Yeah, the metagame's going to take a few months to fully shape, but there are a lot of things I predicted completely wrong and a lot of things I predicted completely right, so it's kind of a mix. I thought Zoo would be kind of broken and would have no counters because it got so many more tools for early game. The reason that Zoo was good before, though, is that it was one of the only decks with early game. It had Voidwalker and Flame Imp, which other decks didn't have access to. But what ended up happening is even though it got more 1-drops and more 2-drops, they're all neutral cards, so every other class also got better early game to compete with Zoo's early game. So it kind of balanced out in that Zoo is still a good deck, but it's not running over everything because other decks have more ways to interact in the early game now compared to how they used to. Aside from that, there are a lot of cards that are very underplayed for how good they are right now, in my opinion. Echoing Ooze and Shade and Naxxramas. I've been doing nothing but streaming and making videos with those of decks with those cards in them for the past couple weeks, and they're just absurdly powerful. I'm surprised they're not seeing as much play as they should be, but yeah, a lot of cards that looked obviously good ended up being obviously good. Web Spinner, Despite, Dark Cultist. Mad Scientist looked obviously good, but it ended up being, like, once I played with it the first week, I'm pretty sure it's the best creature in the game. Yeah, and I think it still holds true. Yeah, mostly that. I'm kind of surprised that aggressive Zoo decks are strong. I'm not sure if they're strong. I haven't played with them, but people are doing well with them, and they're getting popularity.
Any tweaks now that it's all out that you'd like to see Blizzard make before qualifiers and stuff start up?
Hunter needs a fix because it's too robust compared to other decks. There's nothing it can't do except for heal, and it doesn't need to heal because it can race. Like if you kill your opponent first, you don't need to heal yourself to drag the game out. But that's the problem with Hunter, is that it has answers to a bunch of cheap minions. It has answers to a few large minions. It's like proactive. It has a perfect curve. There's nothing that it can't do that another deck can. So what they have to do is just neuter one aspect of it. It doesn't even have to be anything that extreme. I would probably start with just making Hunter's Mark cost 1 mana. And it's kind of a lazy fix, but I think that would be a place to start. So, yeah.
Anything we can expect to see from you or your team coming up?
Well, I've been pretty lazy in terms of tournament preparation the past couple months, and I feel like my results have reflected that. But I'm going to go full try-hard mode starting in October. We're already doing team testing every single day now. We're playing best of 5s. All of us are for cash, so we're motivated. So, yeah, it's going to... I think my results will start reflecting that, because I feel like if I were to play a tournament today, I know exactly what the best decks are. I know exactly how to play them in all the popular matchups. Like, if I had to play a tournament today, which unfortunately I'm not going to be in one for a few weeks, I feel like I would have a really good shot. Whereas a couple weeks ago, I didn't really feel that confident. So, yeah, in terms of specific things to look forward to, I mean, we're going to be going to the Blizzcon qualifiers. I'm pretty sure we're going to DreamHack Bucharest. I think we're going to start performing really well in tournaments. I mean, my teammates have already been performing well, but I'm going to start picking up the slack, I hope, too.
Finally, anything that you would like to say to all the Reynad fans out there, all the people who, maybe even the Reynad haters, the Reynad people?
Yeah, to the fans, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us all the time. To the haters, blow me.
Very good, very succinct. Thank you so much for the interview. Looking forward to seeing all this stuff leading up to the big Hearthstone tournament at BlizzCon. For everyone else, you can check the rest of our coverage of all things PAX at ongamers.com.